Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to the We're Not Stumped podcast. I'm your host, Mike Bolland, and today I have Drew Ann Long on. And you talk about innovation and inspiration and all those types of things we generally talk about on the We're Not Stumped podcast. We're going to talk about it today. Drew Ann Long is a perfect example of spirit, and when she realized her daughter, Caroline, who has special needs, couldn't sit safely in a shopping cart, she decided to do something about it. And that determination led to an innovative cart, and it's in 15,000 stores now. Drew Ann, I just want to say thank you so much for being on the We're Not Stumped podcast. I can't wait for the story.
Yay, thanks. I'm excited to be here. I appreciate people like you that give me a platform and a voice to continue my awareness. And I'm excited to be here.
Well, when we start the podcast with something I call In Your Own Words, so I'd love the listeners to learn more about you.
Okay, so I live in Birmingham, Alabama, or a suburb of, so I'm real close to Birmingham. I am married, mom of 3. My kids are all adults now. My oldest is married and lives in Dallas, Texas. Caroline is my middle child. She's 25 years old now. She'll always be at home, doesn't walk or talk, has Rett syndrome, and my youngest is a junior at Auburn University. So my kids, they grew up with me doing this, especially my youngest. He probably has no memory of mama not working on a cart, So, family participation 100% all the way.
That's fantastic. And your inspiration, it was when Caroline got older and a little bigger that you realized that there was a gap in what you needed to do, just basic everyday things like shopping. Is that true? What was the story on that?
Absolutely. So my husband traveled for a living and was gone most weeks. So I was a stay-at-home mom of 3 little kids, one severely disabled. Caroline doesn't walk or talk, never has, never will. When she was younger, I could carry her in, lay her in the cart, a traditional cart, the fun carts. That was my real inspiration. I don't know if you've seen them. They look like race cars or fire trucks,
Yeah.
everybody's got them. Everybody's got them. And I loved them. My kids loved them. And that's what I used for Caroline. I would put her in, just it wasn't easy, but I made it work. When she outgrew that, I honestly thought there was a special needs shopping cart. So I went to my store manager and I'm like, you see me in here all the time. Caroline's now outgrown the fun carts. Could you get me a special needs shopping cart? He said yes. He goes, small town Alabama. He said, I'm sure there is one out there. Circle back a week later, I did homework, he did homework. Lo and behold, no such cart existed. And I was shocked, he was shocked, because of course I'm not the only mom out there that needed it. And the special needs population is in fact the world's largest minority group. And many people don't know that. Not the US's the world. It is the world's largest minority group. We are in every community on planet Earth and growing and growing. It's not getting any smaller. So I was like, wow, what a huge gap in the market. If you are, I'm a member of the social needs community via Caroline, and I say we're, overlooked and underserved. And unfortunately, I've been doing this for 25 years, and it's always a fight. You know, the world does not bow down, open their arms, or really give a flip. Not all, but just so many. I mean, it shouldn't be that way. And I thought, gosh, if retailers are going to accommodate the toddlers that can walk, the 6-year-old who just wants to ride in a fun little cart, if they're going to accommodate that, that was a lot of hope for me. I'm like, okay, well, if that cart had a chance, I've got a chance. And that's how it started.
Well, that's how it started, but that started your journey really, because what kind of background do you have, if any, of designing a cart as an
Oh,
example?
yeah, 0. I have a degree in business, so I did go to a 4-year, went to LSU, graduated in business, worked in accounting my whole career, until I realized that I had to be home with Caroline. She was so severely disabled. So gosh, none, 0. And I was what a lot of people don't know is once I identified this unmet need, I drew it out on a piece of paper. I drew it on a napkin first, out to dinner with my husband, and
Wow.
I transferred that to a piece of paper. And I found the four shopping cart manufacturers in the U.S. There's 4. There's 4.
Wow.
A really big one, a big player, and then there's 3 others. I took my drawing to all 4. All 4 of them dismissed me, said no. I didn't want money. I didn't have time. Didn't. I'm like, this is what I drew. I'm like, this
Oh.
needs to be. Y'all, somebody do it. have a nice day. They were like, wait, they just were very dismissive of me. All four of them, not
Wow.
one, all four.
Wow.
So that was that I had rejection early, early on, like in the genesis of this project. Meh, rejection. And I remember just almost being angry about that, thinking, why were you so dismissive? Is what I don't understand. And I just thought about it for a couple months, and I told my husband, I'm like, I cannot let this go. And he's like, well, if you can't do this without a manufacturer. And I said, well, I'm going to try. Yes, I have to have a manufacturer. No, they're not interested, but maybe they'll change their minds. So, yeah, I had, this was trial and error every step of the way, a lot more errors and many more trials than I ever thought. I thought it would be simple. I thought I could do it quickly. We had about 20,000 in the bank, and that did not even cover my first
Yeah.
prototype. My first prototype was $28,000, and you couldn't sit in it.
Wow.
I was very naive. Hallelujah, I was naive, because had I seen the big picture, I'd still be under my bed crying. I would never have attempted it.
Yeah.
It was stupid hard. I mean, wow. Yeah, I mean, $28,000 for my first prototype, savings gone, debt already, credit cards, and then I had to have patents, international patents, lawyer fees. It was just a mountain of debt, with very little progress. But again, because I am so naive, I did believe. I'm like, gosh, I would tell my husband over and over, I know this is gonna work. I don't know how, but I'm just gonna keep at it until this makes it, because if I make enough noise, I think we've got a chance.
What was it that kept you going other than just you wanted to do it for your daughter, but it seemed like also the community as a whole. What was that like in the early stages?
Right. I love that question. Everybody's like, it was so hard. Why'd you do it? Two things. Well, three things. Number one, of course, my daughter Caroline, who will never work, who will be with me forever. And this is her legacy. The cart is named Caroline's cart. Every single one of them, if you can see this, is that there's her brand right there. It's on
Yeah,
every single one. And we're in 8
absolutely.
countries. I mean, it's an international product now. And I wanted the world to know her and to know that she can bring value. Yes, it comes through me, but she was my number one source of inspiration. Number two, I had gone to this social media early on in this, and I am just one voice. Okay.
Yeah.
I couldn't make enough noise. So I literally, when I got my $28,000 prototype that I couldn't sit in my dining room, I took pictures of it and I went to social media. And it was absolutely instant. We've got to have this. We need this. And it was a worldwide. It was a
Wow.
worldwide, because Facebook social media has no borders, of course. Grassroots effort. And yes, it was my idea. It was my money. It was my failures and all the things, but it was a nationwide voice, a worldwide voice, and a movement saying, this we are not going to be quiet about this anymore. Anybody can point out a problem. That's easy to do. Anybody can do that. We do that all day long. But who's gonna throw their body on the grenade? Who's going to um who's gonna make it cross the finish line? And I mean, I cried a lot and I didn't want it to be me, but without that community support, never would have happened. Number three, when we were in such debt early on getting this off the ground, that's a lot of motivation when you're like, wow, if this doesn't, our house is next. Our house is on the shopping block. And so those were the three things that kept me going. And if I had to say one of them, yes, Caroline was so instrumental, and she is the reason behind it. But I felt burdened by the special needs community. They wanted this so bad, and I had the weight on my shoulders, and it was a good weight, but they kept me going. They created the demand in their community, and it became a movement.
And when you say a community online, like through Facebook, I know there's amputee support groups as an example. Is that what you're
Yeah,
asking specific? Yeah, so there's support groups that you were going to, and they're like, "Boy, this is a need. Please
yeah,
fill it."
right, right. And Caroline's cart had never. I mean, think about it. This is when you have the world's largest minority group. That's a lot of people, and here's a product that is needed in every retailer globally. It's never been done before. It was exciting. It was new. It was, are you kidding? It's about time, you
Yeah.
know? So it was instantly successful on social media. Didn't have a product for years, but that was just, tremendous, help and the momentum as it ebbed and flowed during the journey. That's how it happened with them.
Yeah, I know you talked about it just a second ago, but how shocked were you to go, "Gosh, there's nothing like this out there?" That had to have been
Stunned.
shocking.
It was fun because it was around 2008, 2009.
Wow.
Um, a lot, there were, although it's a fight, there's a lot of products for disabled. And I really could not believe it. And it was just one of those things that was overlooked. And I wonder, my husband and I talk about this, how many other parents, caregivers has thought of it, took it to a shopping cart manufacturer, got dismissed, and just let it go.
Yeah.
So over the years, I have heard many, many stories, gotten many, many emails saying, I thought about this in 2000. I thought about this in 1985, when I was in high school. Wow, somebody finally did it. So I think it was on the minds of the families that needed it the most, of course. Um, and I think people did, and I don't fault anybody for not doing it because again, had I known how hard it was, I wouldn't have done it either. But very glad that I did. And it's very rewarding to this day to still get photos and pictures and praise from it, saying, "Hey, it's the only way I can shop."
Yeah, a lot of people are glad you did. I saw a lot of videos online, and it's just a fantastic product. But I just want to remind everyone who I'm speaking with. I'm speaking with Drew Ann Long. She is the founder, the inventor of Caroline's Carts. She also speaks, so we want to make sure we get that out. DrewAnnSpeaks.com. We want to make sure we talk about that. So you go from prototype to what was the next step in this journey?
Okay, so after prototype, I started my Facebook page in 2011. If anybody goes to Caroline's Cart Facebook page, I had I started this summer and they drained all of my. I had to start over. I had to get a lawyer. It was I'm up to 700
Wow.
followers after having 100,000. So go back and follow me. I mean,
Really?
it was tragic. I'm like, who does this?
Oh,
Pat, what I say is, I had been, I'm pretty well known in the community, and especially as a community. You didn't hurt my brand, but you certainly hurt my feelings. And now I'm
yeah,
trying to rebuild that community.
yeah.
So I get this prototype. I start Facebook. Um, I'm like, wow. Well, I mean, I people want it, so that confirmed that it was a good idea. And I'm like, well, I've got to have I've got to have a manufacturer. So I took now from my first no of my drawing to getting the prototype was probably a year, if not a little bit longer. So I narrowed down the four shopping manufacturers to the best, the number one, the one that I wanted to work with, and they are in North Carolina. So I loaded up my prototype in my minivan and I drove up there for in-person meeting number two. So I've already gotten one no with the drum. So I'm like, I'm back. And I bring in my prototype and I do my dog and pony show. And it was another no. It was my second no. They're like, still not interested, lady. Like, cried all the way home. Um, yeah, cried all the way home. I told my husband, and he's just like, if we don't have a manufacturer, we don't have a business. Prayed about it. Said, okay, I am in so much debt. I've got all these patents, international patents. I needed another prototype. Couldn't even sit in that one. So I had to get more money. And everybody's like, where'd the money come from? Well, the money came from our 401k. Said
Oh,
I would never do it. So when I say we put everything on the line,
yeah.
I mean, we put everything on the line for Caroline's Cart and got another prototype. Uh, kept on social media. Gosh, it just it was just such a crazy time because I was kind of lost in the desert. I was like, gosh, I don't have a manufacturer, but I've got all these people all over the world that want this cart. I've got no money. We can't, I mean, we couldn't vacation, we couldn't, but I had to keep going. So I started going the non traditional route. I found a manufacturer in Georgia who made lumber carts. You ever go to Lowe's and you see if you get a
Yeah.
big sheet of lumber, you got to kind of slide it on. So he's like, okay, I think I can do it. So for I wanted 100 carts. That was $100,000.
For 100 cards?
Yes, was
Wow.
$100,000.
Wow.
Yeah, right. So more money out of 401k. It's basically not. It's it's basically drained. And my husband's like, "This is it." I hate it. It's we can't lose the house. We. I mean, come on. But we stay focused. So we kept going. So got 100 carts. At 88, actually, there was a fire at the manufacturer, so I only oh, yeah, it's just tragic. I never got my money back. I mean, nobody would believe it. So I had 88 carts. I go to Walmart, I go to Target, I go to Kroger, and they all told me no. They said, "We like it. It's a good idea. We only buy shopping carts from the company in North Carolina." Well, I didn't dare tell them that they told me no twice to my face. I didn't tell them that. I was like, "Okay." So, tears, crying, gnashing of teeth. What am I gonna do? Oh my gosh, now nobody will buy it. So, we took a chance on the smaller mom and pop stores, the locally owned.
Oh,
Um, so I told my husband, I'm like, "We have got to get these not just in Alabama. We've got to get these placed around strategically placed around the country.
yeah.
I need to build demand nationwide, not just Alabama demand. I have to make this big." So we literally just through Google, we found locally owned stores, would cold call them, introduce ourselves, go to Facebook, look at some pictures. Well, they would say, "Where are we're just getting started." I would give stats. I mean, I just all this over the phone. And my first sale, someone took a chance on me, was Sunset Foods in Chicago, Illinois, and shipped cart number 1. Once it was shipped, I would go to Facebook and I would say, "Just shipped to cart number 1, Sunset Foods. If you have a disability, if you're in the area," because I wasn't,
Yeah.
couldn't travel with 3 littles, and go take pictures. That's how it started. Sold 1. Get the map out. All right, we got one in Chicago. Let's shoot for Michigan. Let's shoot for Ohio. Let's shoot for Florida. Let's shoot for So took a year and a half to seed the market with the 88 carts. That's when it really started to rumble because now they're in the they're out there. They're being used. Year and a half later, I'm sitting, we were done. My husband, 88 done. We didn't make a dime. I mean, it didn't even begin. I mean, everybody's like, "We sold 88 carts." Well, I was $500,000 in debt. So that was nothing. I mean,
Wow.
that was a joke. It was a joke. So, my phone rings a year and a half later, caller ID, and it was a number from North Carolina. And I thought, I only know one person in North Carolina, and they don't like me. Can't be them. It was them. And they said, "We now have Target and Walmart and Kroger calling us saying that they have customers that are demanding Caroline's cart, and they asked me to come back." So on third trip is when I got my manufacturing contract.
Did anything change on the design from the original 88
No,
to what?
not really. We didn't change the design. The only thing that has changed on the cart was a couple years ago. I believe it was in 2021, maybe 2022. We changed the handle design. We did improve the handles on it, but basically, no, it was the same. So, finally got it. They made me work for it, buddy. Timing is everything. And everybody, it would have been really great if they would have just taken it on day one, but that wasn't the journey that was selected for me for that. Um, it was very difficult. I still work on it every day. Very rewarding. I mean, a couple years ago, we sent a whole shipment to Dubai. They're fairly,
Wow.
it's in the Middle East, you
Wow.
know, and now it's just crazy. I mean, I'm a stay at home nobody mom from small town Alabama that just had an idea. And the whole special needs community knew it was a good idea, but corporate America was like, you know, had no interest in it at all until we proved that there was a demand for it.
Yeah, you've
And that's
made an
what it took.
impact all over the world.
And that's what it took. That's why I say I'm only one voice. I could, without that movement would have never happened. I mean, I could have screamed as, I could have gone to a million places, but I couldn't be the only one. There had to be, the strength in numbers. And that's
And
why I say my biggest motivator was the community that rallied around this and built the demand for 'em.
that's what kept you going?
Oh, for sure. That
Absolutely.
and no debt. I mean, that and the mountain of debt, thinking, okay, David, we might pay ourselves back, it's it was very exciting to finally get a manufacturing contract. Um, because I knew that they wouldn't take it if they knew that they couldn't sell it.
Yes.
Oh, well, they were getting phone calls for it. They were getting phone calls for it. And then last year, I signed that contract in 2012. It's 2025. We were up until 2024, we were just in a handful of Walmarts. Walmart kept telling us no. We wanted a no. In July 2024, Walmart decided to do a national rollout of Caroline's cart. So it
Congratulations.
uh 15 years. I mean, it was no, 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 yes. Don't know? Don't know. But that, yes, we were in the market for a long time, but that breathed new life into Caroline's cart.
Yes.
You can be in a chain all day long, but Walmart is the mothership. You
Yes.
know, you made it. You made it. So in 2024, I got to fly to Bentonville, Arkansas. I got to go to Exec Row and meet them and shake their hands and take pictures. And Caroline's cart is in every Walmart super center, every Walmart neighborhood market. I don't know if it's kind of the grocery store chain, and every Sam's.
And I may be reading some old information, but it's like 15,000 stores nationwide of all told?
Well, Walmart alone was over 8,000. I mean, so just, and then every Target in the nation, every Lowe's Home Improvement in the nation, that 15,000 is probably actually very low. It's
Yeah,
probably
I read Target, Walmart, Lowe's,
right.
Sam's.
Yeah, yeah. Wegmans. Where do you shop?
That where do I shop?
Yeah.
Fry's. There's a Fry's in there. I'm in Arizona. I don't know if there's Fry's
We are
here.
actually in a few Fry's. We are
That's
not in every single Fry's, but
what can I do to help?
yeah, create the demand and
Okay.
if it's, I'll tell you this, that Fry's has approved it at the corporate level. So the majority of stores, if you go in and on the website, carolinescart.com, we have a order form and people just print that. And most stores, other than Costco, who Costco's not nice to us, most stores will order it. Just all you gotta do is ask for it.
Yeah, I'd love to talk about that process. You have a video that you posted to Facebook that talks about that process of downloading that document and creating that order form.
Yeah.
What website is that on again? I apologize.
That is on carolinescart.com.
Okay. Caroline'sCart.com.
carolinescart.com. I believe you scroll down and it says there's a link to print an order
Yes.
form. Yeah.
Fantastic. So you do get pushback occasionally still. And that's the thing.
Yes.
To me, as I look at it, looking at all the videos and the feedback that I want to talk about, it seems like it's a no-brainer. Is that
It's a
surprising?
no-brainer.
Yeah.
Oh, it is. I don't. There's not a word in the English language. I can't find one other than maddening and ignorance. Here, Lowe's Home Improvement did a nationwide rollout. Wouldn't you think Home Depot would?
Yes.
Yeah, Home Depot said no. Of all the Home Depots in the United States, I don't know how many there are. We're probably in 50. We are in my Home Depot in my local. They got it for my daughter. Um, but corporate was like, yeah, no. I mean, real. Yeah, I
Yeah.
can't. Again, other than not getting to the right person,
Yeah.
um, I can't make sense of it. You can't. You just can't.
And how many would be at each location? So if there was a Lowe's, would they need 10, 15, 100? I don't know, carts.
Well, yeah, no, because it's a special. I mean, it's like the
Yeah.
electric scooter.
Yeah.
Example: my Walmart, my Super Walmart, has 7 electric scooters and has 4 Caroline's cart.
Okay.
Has 4. So right, it's not. We are not the fleet.
Yeah.
We're not the traditional, but I think the larger footprint stores have more. My Walmart neighborhood market has 1, but it's a smaller store. So every Target has 2.
Yeah.
I think every Lowe's has 2. Um, Some start with 2 and it's not enough and they do get more.
Well, has there been any other use cases that maybe you didn't design for other communities that it's helping that is another story in another community that
You
can
mean
reach out?
you mean a non-retailer or
No, like you said, Rett syndrome, I believe your daughter has,
my daughter
Caroline?
has Rett's. Yes, my
Yeah,
daughter doesn't
Rett's.
walk or talk. Now a lot of Rett girls do. It's there's like anything, there's different levels of
Sure,
severity. I
sure.
think what surprised me the most, the top user of Caroline's cart is the autism community. And the kids with autism walk fine. But what I have learned through parents messaging me and emailing me is my kid loves to go to Walmart, loves to go to the grocery store and pick out their cereal and go see the lobsters, in the seafood department, but I can't take them because they're runners. They get overstimulated.
Yeah.
They will break away from me and they'll take off and they don't have that sense they're fearless and they might knock down a display. Now I can take my adult son with autism who's 18 and he thinks it's his cart and he will go and get it and he sits in it. That surprised me. Number 2, the second largest user group is the senior adult community. Those that can't drive electric scooters. Not everybody can. You know, my own dad had dementia. He couldn't drive an electric scooter.
Yeah.
I mean, he knew nothing. So I that is just thrilling to me when I get letters of people saying, my wife, who went to the grocery store once a week, now can go again. I can't take her and drive the scooter for her and I can't, can't, but I can put her in this and she can participate and she loves it and she wants to go and it gets her back out in the community.
I was gonna ask you that question because I saw a great video. A local news station did a story about Caroline's carts, and the person in particular said, "I only will shop where there's Caroline's carts." I mean, how does that make you feel when you see a caregiver give you that kind of feedback?
I live it. I understand because I'm one of them. I can't go into my daughter is 81 pounds and doesn't walk. I can't either. I have to bring her wheelchair in, which is a disaster, and I can never get anything. And if they don't have a Caroline's cart, I don't go. I can't go. I can't carry her.
Yeah.
I can't carry my 25-year-old adult daughter. So it is I'm one of them. I'm walking that same journey. I I cannot and I'm gonna say thousands, thousands upon thousands since 2011 of people saying, I I shop based on where they have it. I'll go to the next county. I it not that I want to go to the next county and drive another 45 minutes, but if I have my son with me and that is my only option, that's what I have to do. So yeah,
That's gotta
I get
feel
it.
great
Yeah, I get it because I live it.
because you live it, and I wanna remind everyone, Drew Ann Long with Caroline's Cart, carolinescart.com. Go there, get the order form if you're listening to this podcast and you're like, "Boy, I need that where I'm at." Like in Arizona, right? In the fries, let's do it. Let's get these things there. What is something that you would give an advice to someone because of your journey as an entrepreneur? What is some of the advice you give to people that are trying to do like you are doing, the right thing, and just keep hitting roadblocks? What advice would you give them?
Well, you better believe in what you're doing. Okay. I laugh and say that Caroline's cart was my 4th child. I had to fight for it like I would fight for one of my children. I have to my daughter that has disabilities, everything I get her is a fight with uh the bureaucracy, all the things. And that was the saying, you better be willing to fight for what you're doing, what you believe in. One thing I want to say, um, Caroline's cart, I developed a product and brought it to market. Millions of people do that. Watch all the time. But I feel like I'm the unicorn of innovators, inventors. I developed a product that that the consumer wanted, but the consumer couldn't buy it. Most people develop products. People do it every day.
Yeah.
Find a manufacturer, smack it on Amazon, success. I developed a product that millions of people wanted and nobody could buy it. I had to bypass the consumer to go to the retailer who did not buy Caroline's cart, mark it up, and make money on it. I came off the bottom line. I'm overhead. You know, I'm like, I'm, you walk in, you wipe your feet on the mats. That's overhead. You go to the bathroom, you use their toilet paper. That's cost of doing business. That's overhead. It was a much harder sell. So my advice to anybody is you're probably going to have it easier than me. Whatever you're doing. Caroline's cart would have been instantly successful if I could have sold it to the consumers, but I didn't. So imagine how maddening and frustrating it is to have something that millions of people want, and the only way they can use it is to go to the retailers to use it. So that did put me just on a different planet than most. In fact, I am unaware of anyone that's ever developed a product and tried to do that, sell it, in that way. 99.9% of them go on Shark Tank, instant success, and you and I buy their products. Well, that wasn't my story.
Was there ever any consideration for those types of avenues, crowdfunding, Shark Tank, anything like that?
Not Shark Tank, because I watch it all the time, and no one's ever not sold to the consumer.
Yeah.
Never. They have products that people buy. So Shark Tank was never an option. Um, and I did not, if I failed so much in the beginning. So just so much. I was like, I can't take anybody's money. I don't, my gosh, so that's why we went to our retirement. We thought, this is our baby. This is
Yeah.
what we're going to do. And it's going to sink or swim on our clock.
Well, that makes sense. I guess even Kickstarter, as an example, generally speaking, you're investing in a company, so you get the product at some point. And to your point, it's not it's for the end user, but through the actual retail location.
I'm the unicorn of innovators.
Yeah.
I've yet in all of my years of doing this find anybody that has developed something for a retailer that the consumer wanted, but I think I'm alone on that.
I think you are too. This has been fantastic. Thank you so much for being on the We're Not Stumped podcast. And remember, everyone, Drew Long, Caroline's Cart, carolinescart.com. If you have a need and you don't see it in your local, I guess it wouldn't just be grocery store, it could be your hardware store, any store, go to
Yeah.
Caroline's Cart, download that information and get that order form. Thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Well, here we are at the end of another great podcast. Thank you so much for listening. I bet you're wondering, gosh, I'd like to be on that podcast. I wonder if Mike would like to have me on. Well, why don't you go to we'renotstumped.com, go to guest inquiries. You can find out everything you need to know about being a guest on this podcast. I would love to have you on. And by the way, if you made it this far, if you went down this far to this point of the We're Not Stumped podcast, do me a favor. Like, share, and subscribe. Especially share it. Come on, you got friends. You got at least one friend. You have as many friends as I have hands, so you have one friend. Please share this podcast.